Blessings and greetings, my angels. Thank you for joining me here at Sacred Sagittarius. Angels Answers All, one of your long-standing original Sagittarius only channels here on YouTube, bringing you your general content for the Sagittarius community. As always, show your appreciation by giving me a thumbs up, by sharing, liking, and subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything, and it motivates me to continue doing the free work that I do here. And also, hopefully, with the YouTube algorithm, moves the videos into the spotlight so that other Sagittarius can receive these blessings. Cards are always blessed and prayed for in all of my readings to allot for time. Cleansing the space both in yours and mine. Yes, we're going to start with the October general Sagittarius energies for these next couple of days, so please stay tuned. Now we're going to be tapping into your career and finance messages for the lovely month of October 2023. Heavenly Father and angels, even though I've already spoken to you in private, I'm speaking to you on camera. Bless these energies here. Guide me to the messages that you see fit at this time for Sagittarius as it pertains to their finances and their careers. We're going to start out with the tarot, and then with some cards focusing on your finances and careers, and then whatever clarifiers that may come in. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Four of Swords. We have the Two of Swords. And we also have the Hierophant. So let's just see with the overall energy of the Queen of Cups as it pertains to your finances. You know, some of you, as you approach and enter this season of October, right, it is just before our birthday season starts in November and December. And for many of you, there are things that you would like to change in your life when it comes to your careers, your goals, your dreams, the way how you look at your finances, the way how you handle money. Maybe some of you need to change your habits on your credit, how you spend, how much you're charging. Do you shop because you're depressed? Do you shop? You know, like some of us eat, you know what I mean? Like we eat because we're emotionally depressed. So we eat tied to our emotions. Some people shop tied to their emotions. If you've heard bad news or if you've heard great news, you know, we can always find an excuse to shop and to spend money. But when we're past that particular energy and we're just back to our norm and we have to deal with the reality of what our bank statements and what our credit card statements look like, that opens up our eyes that we do have to be more mindful when we're making financial transactions, when we're making decisions as it pertains to our career, our life choices, our education. Because the choices that we make when we're tying them to our emotions in a very emotional state usually are just temporary. We're reacting to something that has triggered us for that moment. Whereas when you make permanent decisions regarding your finances and your career, you should make them when your emotions are not so much tied into it, but you're dealing with a sense of clarity, a sense of calm. You're looking out towards the situation as though you're someone looking, you know, in it for the first time, not attaching yourself too much to it. Because when we attach ourselves too much emotionally to any situation in our life, it can cloud our vision, right? Because we're interjecting our feelings, our desires, and we're kind of force feeding the reasons why we're acting out or why we're entitled to be the way that we are in a particular situation. So I feel with that Queen of Cups energy is just a reminder that yes, you have leadership qualities, you have leadership means within you to make things happen in your life, and you should be part of that leadership making decision in your life when it comes to what you're going to do with your finances, how you use your finances, where you work, why you work, you know, how much you put into your work, how you balance your life and work. But we also must not let our emotions get the best of us, because sometimes we can make hasty and unwarranted decisions based upon an emotional feeling for a temporary situation. So don't make long-term goals when it comes to your career and finances because you're reacting to a temporary emotion, to a temporary situation in which you're feeling. Because for many of you, as we go into this month of October, you might be facing a lot of difficult challenges that you might not want to deal with. And because you don't want to deal with them, again, you might let your emotions get the best of you where you make the wrong decisions. You can't run from your debt. You can't run from your responsibilities at work. You can't run from the fact if you're unhappy at your job, or if your job might be having layoffs or difficulties, you're not being recognized as you should. You can't run away from life or from yourself or the problems and the joys that come with life. When you shelter yourself and want to hide behind the shadow of the reality of what your life is, again, you're more susceptible, or there's a more stronger possibility that you will and can make the wrong decisions because you're afraid of the difficulty in it. So many of you might try to avoid taking a stance in situations, but as time progresses, you're going to have to. You're going to have to face these situations whether you want to or not when it comes to your work and your money. Many of you will be tapping into what you know, what you've been taught. Others of you will be so overwhelming that, again, you're going to have to disconnect because of the stress of your finances, because of the burdens of whatever's going on in your particular jobs or careers, whether you're an independent contractor or you work for a corporation. So this will be time that many of you might have that mental break, that physical breakdown, where you need to put everything aside, get rest, and clarify your thoughts. Really talk to yourself and go within to make those decisions in an amount of time and space where you have clarity, where you have peace. You're not thinking with your emotions, but you're tied into your intuitiveness and your intelligence. Intuitiveness and intelligence is what is needed during the month of October when we're talking about your career choices and how you deal with your financial situations. So taking the time for peace and solitude, to retreat, to recuperate from whatever it is that has gotten you to where you are right now in this season. You need to now address it. So you can't run away from it. And I know many of us do. When those burdens are really upon our shoulder, we want to guard and protect ourselves from anything or anyone that might be coming towards us. We don't want to make the hard decisions, but unfortunately, I feel in the month of October, there are going to be decisions that many of you are going to have to make. Some of you in both areas, in career and finance. Others of you, it could be one or the other. For some of you, it might require you to make a move or to take action. So a physical move, like you might have to move away from a situation towards a better situation, which will alleviate the strife or whatever you're going through. For example, if you're working in a job and nothing's doing, or if you're working in a job where they want to relocate, the tough decision might have to be, can you relocate? Should you relocate? Must you relocate? The move could also be you taking action when it comes to your finances. Like, have you not been paying attention to your growing debt? Have you not been paying attention to your bank statement? Are you keeping up with your Social Security benefits and your entitlement, your disability pay? So some of you need to start making a move and taking action in these areas in your life that, again, you have to make the strong decisions, and you might not like where you're at, but you can't expect anything to change. You can't expect any movement to take place until you start taking action. So in some cases, to relieve or to resolve the situations that you're dealing with financially and as far as your career, you might have to physically move to be in a better headspace or to be in a better location where you can get work or the cost of living isn't so high. In some cases, you might have to take action and speak to your HR director or speak to your supervisor about your unhappiness with the job or whatever situations that you're going on. But sitting back is no longer an option. Okay? One more final card from this deck. So for some of you who haven't been taking action, for those of you who haven't been taking leadership and addressing the situations when it comes to your career and finances, there's going to be a sense of urgency because things are going to take a drastic turn, or there's going to be deadlines set in place. There's going to be that feeling like the clock is running out, that if I don't take action, I'm going to be in a worse situation than what I am now. The first message that I got before I started the reading for you regarding this financial and career reading was, you'll have the strength you need. So for those of you who've been hiding in the shower, not wanting to, in the shadow rather, not wanting to address your financial issues, your career choices, your career dilemmas, not wanting to deal with it because it has been overwhelming, it has been challenging, you haven't figured out the answers. As we get into the energies of October, there might be that sense of urgency now, where you do have to take action, where you have to be on the move, and you can no longer hide behind whatever it is that you're feeling and whatever is going on. With the reminder that you have the strength that you need, that is what the universe is trying to convince you, and that is what you have to feel within. You have to muster that strength. That's why the rest, that physical rest, that retreat, that kind of getting away from everything to get your thoughts and that action plan together is so important, because that will give you the strength that you need to move forward. I lovingly move past my limitations on my personal wealth. For many of you, that is the affirmation that you need to take as you start your October energies. That even though your finances might not be where you want them to be, even though you don't like that negative balance on your checking statement, you don't like the high balance on your credit cards, you have to come to a space now in your life where you're going to move past these limitations on your personal wealth and turn it around. I am a soulful custodian for money. I give and receive wealth. You have to know that we all go through cycles in life where the money's not flowing, we're not in the job or career that we want, but it's only a cycle. It's only for a short time. If we take action and we abide to the flow of life, things will change. You are a custodian for the money that you give and receive. You do have somewhat of control in that situation. And then finally, I am grateful for all that I have in my life. Even in times of doubt, even in times where we might not feel like we're on top of things, or we're not excelling financially or physically in our careers, you still must be grateful for everything that God has given you up until this point. And even further, being grateful for what is to come that you're not aware of. Caution won't end well. Some of you, if you make a hasty decision or if you don't take action and pay attention to what is going on in your life as far as your career and finances, you're not going to have a good ending. The situation is not going to end well. So you hiding in the shadows or you using your emotions as the excuse to do what you're doing when it comes to your career and finances is only taking you down a very dark road where you will be more disappointed and more hurt And it will be harder for you to come out of that abyss anytime immediate. You actually will be creating more havoc in your life than solving and opening up doors of opportunity. Time to take things to the next level. For many of you, you've been cautious with your job. You've been kind of comfortable in your position. This might be the time now that you need to move up. You need to look into other opportunities. You need to raise the stake, so to speak. You have to elevate, whether it's getting education, tech training, going out there and seeing what's out there in the world or what's in your scope of work at your position. What is it that you can do next? Are there opportunities for you within your position to level up? And if not, then you have to look outside of that on how you could do that. When it pertains to your finances, again, if you're not where you want to be financially and you have a particular goal, what is going to get you there? Do you need to take a second job? Do you need to use your own personal skill sets and talents that you have for additional income? What is going to bring you to that next level of success if you've kind of plateaued, if you've kind of faded out and got comfortable in the level that you're in now? Cha-ching. Money, money, money. Some of you are very fortunate that your lucky charm is working for you, that you do have money come in. You secured the bag. You have money in your savings. Your 401k is looking dope. I mean, you just have it going on. A lot of you do have that, while others of you are still chasing and trying to figure out, how do I be successful? How do I get the negative numbers to turn into positives? At the bottom of the deck, we get new ride upgrade. Well, for some of you who have an abundance of money and you have, some extra that you can afford to spend to treat yourself on, many of you might be looking to get a better car, a more affordable car, or a car that your dream car that you've always wanted. Maybe you need an upgrade in your car to a moving van or a vehicle that can allow you to do private projects and expand your business. So for many of you, getting an upgrade in your new ride could be connected to the potential for you making new money, because it'll get you places. It can hold more stuff if you deal with a lot of, materials and products. So definitely, if you're making money and your business is booming and you need a vehicle that's a little bit more, friendly and more adaptable to whatever it is that you're doing, by all means, you could write that off, I'm sure, as a business expense. Talk to your tax person, but definitely said many of you are in the position and you do have the money to get a new vehicle. Last card from this deck from the middle. Don't rush to sign contracts, especially for those of you, if you're in your feelings and you haven't thought out what you want to do or what the right decision is in a particular situation. Don't rush to sign a contract because someone is forcing you to, or applying, pressure upon you to do so, even if it could take you out of the dumps that you're in right now. Because people take advantage when they see you're desperate. And if they see you're desperate, they'll put any number down just to bait you in. No, speak to your attorney, speak to your legal advisors. Don't sign anything, especially during retrograde season when, things might not be as they should be. It's not necessarily the time to sign contracts or secure partnerships. So don't rush to sign things, even though it might seem it could be the golden goose. You have to read the fine details. Someone might be gifting you some monetary gain, whether it's in the form of money, stock, a job opportunity, a cash bonus at work, offering you a contract because they love your talent. They see that you have potential. You might have to take care of some legal matters as we approach the month of October. You can also receive some money, a gift, a reward for a legal matter that has been pending and finally is coming to fruition. This is a great time to handle any legal matters involving money. So if you have cases that were pending, or you're thinking about bringing forth a suit to someone which can bring you financial returns, this is a great time to do so. But again, don't sign any contracts, don't agree to any final numbers until you have checked everything. Parenthood, spend more time with your inner child and reconnect with your young curiosity. You're patient, you're nurturing. Don't forget to nurture and treat yourself. While you're going through life and you're dealing with your finances and your careers, for those of you who have young children, not so much those of you who have older children or grandchildren, but those of you who still have small children at home, when considering your finances, when considering your career and the moves that you make in both of those areas in your life, you have to take into consideration how it impacts your children and your family. Okay, like you don't want to get jobs where you're going to be away from home, or it demands a lot of your time when you know you have children you have to pick up from school or take to the nanny. You have to be home to feed, to put to bed. You're not going to be buying new cars and fixing up your house and doing all these fancy things if you have a child that's getting ready to go to college, or if you have a sick child that needs medical expenses taken care of. So a lot of what you need to focus on as you go into October can't be just centered around you if you have children. Pay attention to the details with the planner card, which we've kind of been saying, to create a plan to grow your business or personal finances. For some of you, career in event planning or project management or a project organizer could be the area for you because you're very good with details and organization. This is a great time to take financial inventory and see what needs changing. Taking that time to step out of your situation and look at it as though you're a third person and really addressing where is it you can make positive changes. What is it that you need to adjust? What is it that you need to release? And finally, with the comfort card, though you're not exactly rich, many of us aren't, you do live a comfortable life, or you're reaching that stage in life where you're feeling content and you're feeling comfortable. Your finances in a state of balance, and that gives you comfort where you can rest. But for those of you who still have not figured out what you should be doing with your life, or your finances are still out of whack, you are far from being comfortable. And that's what you're striving to do. And that's what will happen once you get everything in order. You'll have that sense of comfort. One more final card. Many of you, or some of you, are going into the month of October with denial. Perhaps you're not dealing with the reality of your situation. There are things going on in your finances and careers, like the reading started out, that you are just not wanting to deal with, whether because it overwhelms you or you're afraid to take action. Why are you refusing to see it? Why are you refusing to look at the situations in your life when it comes to your working career? It's not going to go away just because you're in denial. It's better to live in truth than a lie. And Saggy, you know this, because we live in the truth. We require truth. So why are you not being truthful to yourself as to what you need to do when it comes to your finances and careers? So if you've been putting a false front to make money, it's time to remove that mask. If you've been making money in the wrong way, if you've been making money that you can't look yourself in the mirror and be proud about where and how you got this money, you know it's wrong how you're getting it, then you need to stop doing that. Because at some point, you're going to have to be accountable for how you got this money. When you allow yourself to be boxed in, again, signing contracts, feeling pressured, not wanting to deal with your situation, so you just give your life away, or you just do these quick get-rich schemes, there's always a price to pay. So don't be in denial if you're doing things the wrong way. Don't be in denial if you're acquiring wealth and fame in a bad way. Don't be in denial of your situation and what you need to do to take care of it. We also get the card of new assets, and here we go again with a car. So many of you are either shopping, looking for, or you're in the middle of signing a contract, a car note, taking out a loan for a car. Many of you might attach your success to the type of car you have. Some people want to have the Beamer, the Benz, the Range Rover, the Land Rover, the Porsche. These are the type of assets that people buy that signifies wealth, that shows that they've made it. So for many of you, buying a fancy car, you might feel it's an investment. But many of you are shopping for new assets, and these new assets do seem to be in the form of a motor vehicle. Right direction, a reminder and also confirmation that many of you, as we enter the month of October, you are going in the right direction. A sign that you need to go in the right direction. Stop being in denial. Start looking for that new job, or start getting your finances in order. Job loss or termination of employment. For some of you, going in the right direction, you might have no choice, because you might find yourself being terminated. You might find your company going out of business, or you having to leave a job because the situation is so bad that there's nothing to rectify it other than you leaving for your own sanity. So possible job loss, especially when you feel that's coming, or a termination of employment, you see yourself, the signs are there that you might have to leave or walk out the door. They might ask you to leave. If you're in denial of that, then you too need to stop doing that. You need to start getting your resume done. You need to start looking, talking, networking with people. If you have a plan to do it on your own and just be self-employed, what does that look like? Especially when you have children, how do you incorporate working for yourself and getting, life insurance, health insurance, time to take your kids to school? What does that look like if you're going to be running your business from home or owning your own business? But those of you who know that your job is shaky, don't be in denial. Protect yourself and start looking into what you can do. Many of you, toxic work environment. You're in a toxic work environment. You know this, but you've been staying there. It's not going to get better. This could be the final chapter where you say, you know what, I'm out. It's not worth my mental sanity. And then finally, benefits. For many of you, your new employer, your current employer, future employers, as you look for work, or if you find yourself being laid off, what's going to play a key role on what you do for your future as far as employment and career is going to be how and what they offer to you in benefits. Not just a salary, but benefits. Do they offer you the flexibility of working from home, hybrid work? Do they have pension plans? Do they give you paid vacation, sick leave, parental leave for those of you who might be wanting to build your family or expand your family in the future? Do they give you incentives as you grow and connect in the firm and you do good performance? What do those reviews mean? Do they pay for your future schooling, not only towards what you do at the job, but just to make you a full-rounded person altogether? What does that total package look like? Many people focus on the money when it comes to their careers, and that's an important part, but also the benefits, the total package of what they're offering you in your job, in your career, to advance you and to keep you in the know and to keep you a viable employee and a good prospect for future employees is also very important. As we come to a close, we get time to decide. Make a decision based on your heart's true desires. I did mention in the beginning of this reading that this month of October, many of you are going to have to make some real strong life determining decisions when it comes to your career or finances. You're going to have to go deep within. You're not going to be able to have time and hide and make rash decisions. You really need time to think and make decisions, especially if you already have an up and up, or you have an idea that certain things are going to change in your career, or certain things are going on in your finances that you need to address. This decision is coming upon you. Protected, it's okay. Don't worry. Those of you who might be threatened with job loss or job furloughs or layoffs, we keep hearing a lot about government shutdowns. You are protected. You are safe and you're supported while you change your career. A lot of people don't like to leave or change careers mid-year or towards the end of the year because they don't want to forfeit their bonuses or whatever else that they might have pending. But you are protected. Your angels and guides have you. So don't feel that you have to stick or stay in a particular career because it's going to change the dynamics of who you are. It's going to change your livelihood. It might change your lifestyle. Sometimes you got to take a little pay loss to get something more in the end. But whatever decision you make to change your career, you definitely are protected. So don't feel like you should have anxiety. Don't feel like you should have worry. Don't feel like you're starting from the bottom to make it to the top. You're going to be good. Once you make that decision and you are firm within it, you are going to be good. Practice. For many of you, this is a time to polish your skills. Not only your skills as it pertains to the job that you do now, but any other skills that you can acquire to make you be a viable candidate. That if your firm has to decide between keeping you or choosing someone else, you want to stand out. So make sure that it's on record, everything that you do. Make sure it's on record, everything you know and everything that you're willing to know. And then finally, at the bottom of the deck, artists. Some of you, as independent contractors, independent artists, freelancers, this is a great time for many of you to tap into that or even bring that to your company's attention, because it can advance you in particular jobs. It can give you other opportunities that might put you again and highlight and showcase you opposed to another employee. So engaging in your artistic activities during this time is very beneficial to your career and in every area of your life. I really feel when Sagittarius tap into their careers, or their energies that are artistic, it raises your vibration, it sets the tone and mood, it makes you flow within life freely. You feel great, actually, because you are creating, you're seeing the results of it. Just anyone that's a craftsman or, plays an instrument, you work with art, there's just a joy in starting a project and putting your hands, and mind and soul and everything into it, and then seeing the finished product, whether you sell it or you give it away. There's such a joy in seeing that from start to completion. So many of you, by tapping into your artistry, whether you bring it into your 9-to-5 job or you bring it as a new career, a new business that you want to start, it is going to help you fulfill your life goals, your life dreams, bring you the finances that you definitely want to have, and give you a sense of worth and completion. As we close out the October finance and general reading, let's get one more message. For many of you, the pain, the strife that you've been going through, if you've been working at a job where you didn't know from one day to the next if they were going to close or if you were going to get laid off, or when this toxic work environment was going to end, it's going to end. It's coming to a close. All this anxiety and worry and strife that you've been having, you're not going to have it anymore. For those of you who might have had a financial plan things haven't been going for you financially, you don't like the numbers in your accounts, it's coming to an end, because you're going to have this awakening. You're going to find the drive. You're going to tap into your intuitiveness and just your common sense that you know you've got to make a change. You've got to take action to turn situations around in your life. You can't be in hiding. You can't be in denial. And at the bottom of the deck, a lot of you feel lonely in this journey. You feel like you might be the only one going through it, but you're not. Many people are going through a lot of things. This is a time a lot of people are soul searching themselves, who they are, what they want to be, how can they be better. Is this a time that I need to break away from everything and everyone that is not going in the direction that I want to go, or is that I finally realize is holding me back? So taking that time within, cycling through the madness, and really looking at your life and addressing it, and not being afraid to see what it is that you need to do instead of running away from it. When you take that quiet time in that space and you come to that truth, it enables you to move forward. So move forward, I hope you shall. And don't forget the message that I initially gave you, that you'll have the strength you need. And that is also kind of emphasized again here with the protection card, that you will have the strength you need because your angels and guides are with you. This is the time that many of you have to make decisions. This is a month coming where you're going to have to make some strong decisions. You are protected to make those decisions. Those decisions, you can't avoid them. So travel forth, take action, be strong and assertive, and go with your gut feeling. Your Sagittarius luck might have been dried up for a while, but it's going to find its way back to you. You've just got to get back to your center. You've got to get back taking control, not letting your emotions dictate what you're going to do, but think with your head, think with your heart, intuitively. And magically, things will work into place. Even in the jobs where they might be threatening layoffs or you might walk away, another job, another opportunity will come. So have faith. Have a blessed month.